Hey everyone, it's been a bit, hasn't it? I think it's been like a good, maybe a few months since I've talked to y'alls, but hey, I guess better late than never talking to y'all, I guess, huh? Imagine that, I upload after a few month-long hiatus for no reason. Couldn't get my recording software working, but here we are now. And I'm glad to be back, everybody. So to celebrate my return, I'm gonna do my infamous off-brand review. But hey, I'm gonna do something different this time. I'm gonna do a little special for y'all. I'm gonna call this the Pink Pineapple Special. So I'm gonna be reviewing 5 off-brand from the infamous and very famous studio Pink Pineapple. So without any further ado, everybody, I kept y'all waiting long enough. Let's get into this. Alright, so first up we have I'm gonna butcher all of these names because English translation is never a thing anymore. So our main character Kota, his house is under sudden renovations for no reason in particular, so he has to live with his childhood friend Aki. She wakes up to him literally sleeping next to her on the floor, and she calls him a pervert, a leecher, blah blah blah, skip it, it's the most cliched writing ever. But Kota and Aki live together for a few months because his house is under renovations, I'm gonna put that in giant quotation marks, and they are the same, like, stupid story, childhood, friends, everything, and they haven't progressed anywhere in love and romance. So they are in the same photography club in school, and they are egged on by their friends to confess their feelings to one another. So one day where Kota is getting home from school, he walks in on Aki in the bathroom, and then that leads to a bonding moment between the two of them where they express their love for each other in many different ways, physically and emotionally. So they each give their virginities to each other, and this whole off-brand is basically 20 minutes of them just going at it and at it and at it and at it. It starts out as something wholesome, then it turns on to their sex addicts, turns on to some cosplay acts, and their friends tell them to be careful because they're going to get hooked on it, and guess what? They didn't listen to them. That's basically this one. Like, I don't know what to tell you, it's basically just your simple off-brand childhood friend. They get together and vanilla, basically. So honestly, I didn't mind about it, even though I don't watch off-brand for the wanking material. I watch for the story, so I'm gonna give this one a 7 out of 10. I thought it was a good long runtime for this show, considering it's just 20 minutes of banging if you just want to do 20 minutes of banging. And there's really no story to this. It's just your typical childhood friend hooks up a childhood friend and they just do it. At least they're happy together, I'll give them that much. So, that's number 1, everybody. So next up we have Kimi wa Yasashiku Netoreru. I am not usually a fan of NTRs by any means of the sort because I do not believe in cockholding or cheating or anything of the sort. But I gotta admit one thing though, the story is okay, I will say that much. Like, sure, like, you can go at this for the wanking material, everything, but I really don't do that. I just read it or watch it for the sake of plot purposes, as you can put that in giant quotation marks or red flag me as you please. So the main purpose of this off-brand is we have our main character Haruta. He looks up to this big sisterly figure who he has a romantical interest named Rio. Rio says that Haruta is more of a little brotherly figure and really doesn't see him any romantical interest, but they are hopelessly not on the same page for Haruta, because Haruta is trying to pursue Rio, and Rio is not really pursuing Haruta. Rio is actually pursuing his older brother, Kaito. Kaito exploits the heck out of this by taking lewd pictures, committing public acts of indecency, and filming pornography of him and Ryo. And unfortunately, Kaito really doesn't do this for the love. He just does this for the physical pleasure and satisfaction because he is taking Ryo away from Haruta. And Haruta is none the wiser to any of this. He just keeps hopelessly pursuing this love that he has for Ryo. But unfortunately, in this 4-episode series, he comes to learn that his words will never reach Ryo. Ryo just falls deeper and deeper and deeper down the rabbit hole of the sexual pleasure that Kaito is giving to her. And by the 4th episode, Ryo and Kaito send a pornographic video to Haruta explaining that he was never a romantic interest for Ryo, and Kaito rubs that all up in Haruta's face. And that's when the realization finally kicked in for Haruta, that Kaito basically stole his big sister, in giant quotation marks, away from him. I just find it funny that how he never caught them in the first place, but what am I to know? I'm surprised that this actually had more than 2 episodes. It's got 4, like I told you, and if you want to just watch it for the source of wanking material, go ahead. It's made by Pink Pineapple, like all of these animations are. It's pretty good. Like, they make a lot of good stuff. But unfortunately, I still don't like NTR or anything, so I'm just probably going to give this a 6 out of 10 for me, honestly. Because I do like a good story every now and then. I can't deny this story isn't bad. It's just not good. It's more just for the wanking material, honestly, for me. So... And I really don't like how Haruta is a Shota. Honestly, he's way shorter than like Ryo and Kaito combined. And I really do not understand why Ryo has basically the gazongas the size of Mount Everest. It's just unappeasing to me that they have giant breasts. It's weird to me. I just don't know. I like something like Ibia's, like Aki's in the previous one. She had like medium-sized everything, but that may just be my personal take on it. So you can just take that with a grain of salt from me. So I just still give it a 6 out of 10. If you enjoy NTR, good for you, but it's not for me. So I'm just going to leave it at that one. Alright, 3rd time's the charm. Alright, everybody. So this one is Eroge de Subete wa Kakseku. What the hell? Dekiru. Oh, shit. I am so sorry for these awful translations coming out of my mouth. So I like to call this one the high school DxD of the off-brand world, because it's basically these 4 girls and there's 1 man and the same club here. But here, get this part. So I'm gonna introduce all of these girls by their first name and our one lone protagonist. So Yuri, the main president of this club, has her friends Riko, Sayaka, and Fumika, and Mikoshiba, sorry, words are hard, develop a eroge game, basically. Her vision is to make an eroge game with her friends, and she requires all of their help. Riko as a graphics like designer, Mikoshiba-kun as like the main off-brand protagonist in the game, Sayaka on music, and Fumika with drawings. So these 3 other girls opt out of the project because they believe there is no point to making a eroge game, but Yuri entices Mikoshiba-kun with her charms, I'll say with that, her assets. So those 2 get down and dirty, and she explains that she wants to basically use her friends and her assets to make an eroge game, the best one of all time, and she requires all their help. So they end up doing a deed in the club room. Yuri and Mikoshiba, they basically screw. It's an off-brand. What do you expect? And after they're done screwing, Yuri decides to blackmail Fumika with the help of Mikoshiba, because Fumika has a secret about she writes interesting novels, let's just say that, and gets blackmailed by Yuri. So Mikoshiba-kun and Fumika end up doing the deed in the club room as well. And after they did the deed, they realized they were being spied on by Riko. And Riko gets enticed to the project as well, because it's basically like the high school DxD of Off-Brand. I basically told you. They basically all develop feelings for this one man. And they all try to convince Sayaka to join in on the cause for this Eroge game, and she utterly refuses. But Mikoshiba, being the Chad Giga MC of this off-brand, decides to convince her with using his manly dick. I'm sorry. So Mikoshiba ends up doing it with Sayaka, and all four girls eventually fall in love with this one man, and they end up don't making an Eroge game. It's basically just thrown in the background. It's basically just a vanilla off-brand with 4 different girls, and you basically can just pick and choose who your favorite waifu is, like High School DxD, because it's basically that with actual, screwing and everything, unlike blue balling, which High School DxD does, because that's so sad. But I like it. It's stupid. It's like High School DxD. I keep saying that because I love the show, and I'm stupid, and I'm stupid. There's no other way to go around this. It's stupid. This novel actually, this off-brand actually has a novel. I'll say that one. You can go on the infamous website where you type in a 6-digit source code, and then you can find it. Here, I'll throw the numbers down at the bottom of the screen for you, if you ever want to look at it. But I believe it's got 5 parts, if I'm not mistaken. There's probably more out there, but I don't know if it's on the website, so you may have to go digging around the internet for that. So I highly recommend this one, because they got all the right tags in there, and it's just stupid. It's just stupid. If you can watch for the plot, you're gonna cry. It's stupid. But if you want the wank bank material, that's where you go for it, because it's so good. Because Pink Pineapple makes the greatest stuff known to man. But yeah, I give this one an 8 out of 10 or a 9 out of 10, depending on how I'm feeling. But I highly recommend it. So let's just move on, I guess, before I stop comparing this to High School DxD. Alrighty. We got Toshi. What the hell are we doing again? Tosho Sitsu no Kanojo Saiso na Kimi ga Ochiru made. What the hell is that title? Oh my god, I need to study Japanese even more. So we have our main 2 love couple of the story. We have Serizawa and Ida, the most beautiful, lovely, wholesome couple in off-brand history. They are as vanilla as they can be, like holding hands, kissing, and everything, because Serizawa's the nicest girl, and she also finds the nicest guy, Ida. They are like the perfect match for each other. And then this fucking janitor comes in and ruins the whole goddamn fucking off-brand. What? God damn it, son of a bitch. I thought I was gonna be good looking, man. And then this fucking tool comes out of nowhere and then ruins the entire off-brand. And that just, oh my god! Sorry, I'm a bit emotional about this, because it is the most beautiful vanilla, and then it is ruined with the shittiest fucking NTR in the entire goddamn world. Because it starts out so wholesome, because she is such a nice girl, and then when the janitor accidentally breaks a vase, she knows that he did it and won't snitch on him, and then she is blackmailed by the janitor and then fucks him entirely. Just, what the hell? Like, oh my god. It was so wholesome. Then it turned to 180. It's just this
girl getting fucked over and over and over and over again by this ugly bastard janitor. And then when she actually goes on a date with her man Ida, they actually have a good time, and then they actually go to a love hotel, and then they fuck, and she realizes that his dick is so small that she cannot be satisfied by him, Ida, and she goes back to the janitor and is basically brainwashed into loving his big gorilla cock, and then just God. And then at the end of this series, she gets pregnant by the janitor, leaves Ida, is basically brainwashed by cock, and it just is ruined. The whole series is awful. It's miserable. Like, why in the goddamn is the prettiest art style, the best tags always get ruined by that one tag, NTR, and is the worst story ever. Like, oh my god. Like, I thought freaking whatever the hell that was, Shiko X Kanojo, like the review I did on that anime was awful. The plot was okay, like plot was good, 4 out of 10, that one. Changed my rating on that one. This one is a fucking 2. This one's miserable. The only reason why I give this one above a 1 is because the art style is good and the artist knows how to draw shit. It's just shamed that it's ruined by such awful tags and stories. And I'm gonna move on before I plop a blood vessel. Alright, this one is the one for the golden tier of off-brand, and it is made by the beautiful artist Denimaru. Check out his works on that famous website where you can type in the 6-digit sauce number, because this series is beautiful, and I love it. 100%, okay guys? I recommend this one. This one is Kono Koi ni Kitsui, or whatever the hell. It is beautiful. So this takes place with our 2 co-workers, Sujinaka and Kobayashi. Kobayashi has this girlfriend that he works so hard for and then is gonna give her a birthday gift, but unfortunately he gets a call and Kobayashi's girlfriend breaks up with him and he is in the lowest pit of hell right now. So this is when Sujinaka comes in, takes him to a bar, and they both get drunk together, and they express their love and their feelings for each other. It is the most beautiful off-brand I think I've ever read and I've ever seen, and I'm so happy that Pink Pineapple got the rights to this one. Sujinaka is just drawn so beautifully, and the art is S tier. It is so beautiful. Sujinaka just is the best girl because she brings up our boy all the way up from the pits of hell and just expresses her love to him because he is a hardworking man, puts all of his passion and love in everything, and just because he got broken up, this was her time to swoop in and steal him when he was at the lowest, even though that is kind of a scummy thing to do after just a breakup, but she loves him because she loves Kobayashi for how his work ethic, his personality, everything. Best girl, loves him unconditionally. Love that. It is just so beautiful. So after those two confess their feelings at a bar, they go to a love hotel and then they spend a steamy night together, and it was great. Art style, great. Denimaru, S freaking tier, man. And this actually has an entire series on that famous website where you type in the nuclear codes. So I recommend reading the whole series because I believe there is more than 2 parts, and then if there is not more than 2 parts, I'm sorry, I lied, but it's so beautiful. I highly recommend this one, everybody. Sujinaka and Kobayashi, best couple. It is so wholesome. I highly recommend this. 9 out of 10. Flat, easy. Because the story, it's simple. It's just a breakup story where she swoops in and takes a man back. But it's so good. It's just written so well, and it's just the art style so beautiful. And I may just be a vanilla person, but I think it's great. So yeah, definitely recommend Kono Koi ni Nitsuki. And to end off this beautiful video that I have taken way too long to get out to you guys, it is Fila Pure Mitarashi-san Sachi no Joju the animation, or Fila Pure the animation. And this off-brand is where I get my infamous awesome outro songs from sometimes. It is a
banger song, and I wish I could find an extended version of it, but there is one version I have that basically goes through and loops again, but it's like the closest thing to an extended version, and I love that man for uploading it. I'll throw his channel in the description. But Feel Pure is about two people, a brother and a sister. It is Mitarai, the student council president, who everyone looks up to, and our typical nobody, Noboru. So the thing about Mitarai is she's the super strict, super like cold looking and super loving student council president. But it turns out that is a mere butt facade about what she is. Mitarai is the most down horrendous, most perverted, and the most horny craved person in an anime I've seen to date. And it's been a long time since I've been looking at all this. It is so weird that she is this down horrendous. It's funny. So Mitarai has a massive brother complex, and Noboru knows this. So when those two get home from school, because their parents are freaking nowhere to be seen, except for one scene, just Mitarai and Noboru explore the fetish world together, all about water sports, bondage, the glory hole, and a whole lot of other tags. Those two explore the wild fetish world together, and it is taboo because you're not supposed to do it with your family. But that's an off-brand. It seems like every other tag is just incest, but it's whatever. So Mitarai and Noboru finally cross the line one day, and they realize that they can't go back. There's no saving them. It's not gonna end pretty if they get caught. But they said screw it. They threw all the moralities out the window. Those two just keep doing it and explore the fetish world together. So after the first time they do it, they get hooked on it, and they cut a hole open in the wall that separates their two rooms. And their mom walks in, and they somehow don't get caught. But it's the off-brand world. Nothing ever bad happens if it's not an NTR, so we'll just leave it at that. So honestly, I still give this one about a 7 out of 10. It's made by Pink Pineapple, best studio I think out there besides Bunny Walker or T-Rex. And it's just the normal incest, brotherly love, and sisterly love in an off-brand, and really that's about it. And the story is just kind of that. The art style is pretty good, and those X-ray shots, don't even get me started on that. That's just either the best thing to look at or the most uncomfortable thing to look at. So that's maybe a little bit of an insult from me. But I'm sorry that everything took so long to get out to y'all guys. I'm so sorry about that. Finally got my recording software back up and running and everything, so I should be returning to YouTube. So glad to see you guys again, and then sorry for all my incessant ramblings and my lack of content the last few months. It's just life got in the way, and it's okay now. I'm back to the grind set of becoming a uploading YouTuber, but we'll get back into it. I love you guys every single time, and I do this for y'all. So my name's Avarice Puma, everybody. I'm glad to be back, and maybe tune in next time to whatever off-brand I review next, and probably throw some suggestions down in the comments for me. All right, everybody? All right, I love every single one of you guys. Take care of yourselves.